Hello, Growth Centre Next here. We are back with another video. If you've just joined our channel, we are everything fitness, everything related to fitness, nutrition, here to help you in any way we can. So if you like our content, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Make sure you go back and check our previous stuff. We're smashing on a bulking series at the moment. So if you're looking to build that size over Christmas, go check out those videos. We're also dual wielding cameras today. We've got two cameras on the go.
Camera one, camera two.
This is camera one.
Camera
main one.
One, camera two.
Yeah, this is like Big Brother camera.
This is new for me too, so.
Yeah, he's nuts going on.
Yeah, so which actually takes us on today's topic about the fitness industry and health. We are a little bit late with the video. I've had some recent things happen where I've had a family issue, health issue, so I wanted to bring up the topic of health and all things health related to the fitness industry. We have many problems with the fitness industry, don't we?
Personally, or just in general?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. There is a lot of problems with the fitness industry. There's so many subcultures and so many problems with the fitness industry that it's so based around economy that I think we've actually forgot the ideals of what the fitness industry is,
yes,
which kind of is all about health and how it impacts. And then obviously subcultures, which we'll talk on the topic of now about subcultures. So what would we define as a subculture?
So if you're looking in the fitness industry, we're thinking about things like CrossFit, calisthenics, bodybuilding, strength training, powerlifting, all these different areas of fitness that people go into. And what we're trying to get across is that not one size will fit all. So like our channel is, we're based around all types of fitness, everything related to fitness. So we joined us powerlifting quite a lot. I do a lot of calisthenics. However, we're still into whole fitness as a whole. So looking at the subcultures of fitness, we see that a lot of people are unwilling to change.
The biases.
Yeah, so it's okay, I'm a CrossFitter, so that's it. There's no room for anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else you do is wrong, that's it, jump in.
Yeah, it's admitting flaws. So essentially, each subculture, every single part of fitness has a flaw, but because we have products to sell, shift, whatever, it's the same with diet, where it comes to like calisthenics, that's not a diet. When it comes to like veganism, or yes, I'm saying it, it's veganism. It's not perfect. When it comes to 5-2 diet, fasting, keto diet, whatever it is, they're all just subcultures of diets in order to sell you plans, in order to sell you products, like vegan-based, plant-based products, ketogenic this, ketogenic that, books. It's all just a way of shifting people into a subdivision culture so you can argue your point against their point. So you're so divided, you're all emotional about your particular subculture that you become heavier on your standpoint of what you think is best. And we're not understanding each other anymore, are we?
No, I think like veganism is a really good one. I'm quite passionate about the whole vegan thing, where if you want to be vegan for whatever reasons you have. However, it's not the ultimate diet, because there's so many benefits to eating meat, but there's also so many benefits to not eat meat, and I understand that personally. But when you come across vegans that are, anyone that eats meat are just completely cast aside, can never speak to them again, really frustrating for me, because that's my choice to eat meat, because I know the health benefits of that. I also understand the negative effects of eating meat, that's why I don't overindulge in that area. So I just try and keep well-rounded diets. The whole point here is keto or fasting or whatever works for you is fantastic. However, there are other options.
Yeah, it's all nuanced. So essentially, when you look at a diet, you should look at it in the sense of a well-balanced diet. Like Luke said, everything is about balance. If you don't have balance and you're going into a diet for a specific reason, a lot of people go into diets because they want to lose weight for an event, because they want to lose weight. Basically, it's an aesthetic thing. You're not thinking of your long-term health. Yes, you can lose 2 stone on this diet, but what about after you finish that diet? What happens then? Do you put on that 2 stone? Do you put on 3 stone? Like on average, every person in the UK puts on around about 1 stone to 2 stone of weight when they get over a certain age, like 25. because they consume about 300 calories too much for their current lifestyle per day. And if you think about that over a long-term period, you're putting on 1 to 2 stone per year over 10 years. Before you know it, you've got severe health problems by the time you're 40. And this is the issue where we're getting at, is you might be fine now, but later down the line, you might have issues. So just doing these diets isn't enough. We need to understand the root cause of the problem, why you go on these diets. What's the specific reason? What's your triggers? What's happening to your body and what's happening in your brain when you're eating too much? So, I mean, what would you say like is a good example of what you think you should do instead of dieting for these fasted and all this stuff? What do you think would be best?
It's about, again, like I said before, balance. It's keeping your diet working for you and your goals. So understanding what your goals are is the main thing, and choosing a calorie range, macro breakdown that works for your goals. If I'm bulking at the moment, I need to be consuming more calories than I'm expending, which is great. However, if I overeat or overeat on the protein aspect of it, that's going to cause, gut problems, things like that. So I need to make sure I'm managing my calories effectively. I'm not going on some magic, like crazy diet. I'm literally just, rather than having, say, for a high basic chicken, rice and veg, if that was a meal, on a normal day, I'd have A, B and C, but on a bulking diet, I'd have a little bit more rice or a little bit more veg, just to increase the calories slightly. That's literally the only change I made. Or an additional meal in the day. So it's just understanding your goals, your calorie needs, your macro needs, and just keeping it basic.
Yeah, and that's it. Going from goals, but then going on from goals to health. So you're bulking for X amount of time. Let's say you're bulking for 32 weeks. You've been in a calorie surplus for a fair while now. Yeah. Let's just say there are basic things when you go onto a bulk where you maybe neglect vegetables, you maybe neglect eating the right kind of foods that are good for your actual long-term health. So this is why we kind of want to put in after we've done the bulking series, we want to put in a periodized plan series. And the reason why we want to do a periodized plan, especially for beginners, is to give you insight as to how long you should do something before it starts to actually be detrimental to your health. In other words, a diet is good to a point. A long-term bulking plan or strongman or powerlifting plan is good to a point. There's certain downsides to every aspect, and this is what we're trying to get at, the whole point of the video today. For instance, like if you're a powerlifter, it's great, you're strong, you're a powerful person, but there is a point where your central nervous system starts to break down, your tendons start to break down, and before you know it, you get breaks, tears, long-term health issues that you have to deal with when you're in your 50s and 60s, when you can no longer lift heavy weights, for instance. And then, like you said, with calisthenics, there's probably issues with that.
Yeah, so it's very injury inducing as well. So shoulders, back, lats, it's a very, very upper body dominant workout. So it is very injury inducing for especially the shoulders and rotator cuff. So if, like the mistake I made, I overindulged in calisthenics and I got a shoulder injury. That's my own fault. I got a little bit excited and then overdid it, and that's it, game over. So I've literally had like 6, 7, 8 weeks now I've not been able to train properly because I did too much of one thing. Where if I'd stuck to my regular training and then just did a bit of calisthenics here and there, piecing it throughout my workout, then I would have been a lot further on my progress now actually, because I've lost like 7, 8 weeks. So it's injury inducing, that it's a problem. So
so periodizing plans, getting to a certain point where you see your like PBs dropping, you see the fact that you're getting aches, pains, ailments, that type of thing. It might be good to deload or change out the style of training to something a bit more specific on a different area. Let's say calisthenics is very upper body dominant. Right, let's introduce some more squatting, deadlifting, or something that's working different muscles of your body. Or alternatively, try a different sport for a while. It's just so your body can stay fresher for longer. You can kind of keep it going for a much longer period of time. And obviously fitness is for life. It's not just for a short amount of time. And if you're still having problems, seek medical help. Doctors, physiotherapists, sports masseur. Do anything you can, stretches, mobility drills, anything you can to keep your body as fresh and as good as possible. We all love that mentality, don't we? When we go into the gym and we want to lift, we want to pump, we want to just get stuck in. We're so kind of in the zone all the time, we forget about the small things. And what kind of small things are you doing now for recovery? And
we'll have to stretch pretty much half an hour a day. Lots of rotational movements from my shoulder, make sure that's fresh before I even do a pull-up. I have to make sure my shoulder's locked out. So, and then I'm focusing more on legs as well. So we did a leg session yesterday. If you've got us on Instagram, you've seen that. Banging out the squats and split squats, and again, working more on my leg strength really. So I had to take a rest from heavy body lifting.
Yeah, which actually takes us to the point, you know, we did go into heavy squats, which we didn't show on Instagram. We showed like when we were doing like a lower,
do the reps,
high reps,
end of the exercise.
But you could see we're also doing Bulgarian split squats, which was also good for stability. It's good for joint health and hip mobility. So we're trying to get an even amount of strength within the legs. It's not just good for bodybuilding or powerlifting. It's also just good for general mobility in total. So when we put, you know, our plans together, specifically, we've got an online app and our plans are on there. If any of you guys are interested in that, of course, the links will be down in the description below. What we try to do is we do have specific ones for bodybuilding, we have specific ones for powerlifting, we have specific ones for HIIT training, but they all have periodized plans with deloads in where it's all about long-term health. We also put promotions in for keeping a simple, balanced lifestyle in terms of diet. So we don't recommend any specific diet, because like Luke said, it's the one that works best for you. So we're going to kind of move off that point, and we're going to go into the kind of like lifestyles of individuals, let's say, who aren't in fitness, and for those who are. So I don't know if you ever worked in an office or, you know, hospital, wherever it is, where there's a group of people. Let's say you are a fitness, or just got into fitness, a beginner. What kind of things do beginners, they come into contact with when they first start training from other people's perspective?
So I've had clients that when they start training with me, looking to lose weight, at the first they don't really get the results they're looking for, and then when you really probe into the reasons why, the root cause, a lot of the reason is because other people are shaming them into eating more food, like bringing biscuits in and all sorts. And then for me, it's simple for me to say no to the biscuits. It's not that hard. But for someone who's used to having that comfort and just saying yes to everything, it's hard to say no. So what's happening is their colleagues or their friends are seeing someone they've known for a long time looking to make a positive change, and rather than lifting them up and saying, yeah, go for it, brilliant, they are thinking, shit, this person might get ahead of me here, and they might make a positive change and become a better person than I am. So the natural response is just to try and drag them back. So I see that all the time with clients, and you have to really get that mindset instilled in the client that it's your life that you're leading, and you make the choice to eat what you want to eat or do what you want to do. So going out for meals, there's no harm in, if you want to eat cleaner, not having the dirty food that everyone else is having, or skipping dessert if you don't want it. Don't have it because you're being forced to have it. It's your choice. And then the response normally is, I don't want to be that person or lose these friends. I said, well, if they're real friends, they wouldn't drag you down.
It's all about support.
Yeah, and I say over time, if you're doing this for 3 or 4 years, your entire network of friends will change completely.
It's very true.
So just do what you want to do. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's the basic.
Yeah, so we're now seeing this big divide yet again. So we're looking at divisions, biases. We have this new thing, which is very strange. It's now called thin shaming. There is fat shaming, which obviously we hate as well, but I'm sure everyone knows about fat shaming. We've talked about kind of like how people get shamed, like especially when you're kids, you shame the fat kid or you know, for whatever, because they are overweight and they're not looking after themselves. But now with the population probably more being overweight than underweight, or not underweight, but average weight, should I say, we're now looking at a new culture called thin shaming, and it is a weird phenomenon. We've become a culture, and it's not just in thin or fat shaming within health industries, within politics, it's within anything that people have a severe bias towards. It's my way or the highway. Like, because you're not doing what I'm doing, you're wrong. Or because you're not doing what I'm doing, I feel insecure about myself because I might have to actually make changes. So all of a sudden, like with Luke's clients, my clients, and people I know in general who are into fitness, especially people who are really into fitness, is you're doing too much. Maybe on a Friday night you go for a cheeseburger. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. I'm sure you have. If you have, drop a comment below. Tell us your story, because
it's like fit shaming.
Yeah.
Like, you're so boring. I hear that all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so you're eating healthy, are you? Why don't you just go out and eat a curry?
You don't drink. That's boring. Actually, I'm a really fun person when I'm sober. So I really don't need to drink.
But we do drink.
Thanks.
We do drink.
Yeah, we do. Whiskies, all sorts.
Yeah, which we enjoy. But I think the thing is, we've got a bit more of a balance, and that's what we're trying to get at. Is we don't go to extremes anymore. Maybe when we were younger, we did.
Yeah. So, when I was younger, I was just like, fitness is my life now.
Yeah.
And I did go a little bit boring, but now it's you know, Friday night's date night. I go out with my partner, I have some food, and we have some drink, have a laugh. That's my life. My life is for living, but I enjoy fitness is my life, but also, you know, I've got things outside of work and outside of the gym that I want to enjoy. I love food. I love pizza.
I do.
If someone took pizza away from me, I think I wouldn't survive.
That's very true.
I wouldn't survive.
If someone took whiskey away from me, Jesus.
Exactly. So you have your little vices that you enjoy, and anyone in the gym that you speak to ever says, "I never eat sweets. I never do this or that." They're chatting shit. They do.
And if they are, they're a part of this weird, yet again, biased subculture of it's all or nothing. Yet again.
And they thought they'll be subject to ridicule if they, you know, you can't eat pizza. You're supposed to be a PT. So what? I like pizza. I'm eating pizza, man. Back off.
Yeah, so that's also a thing that we kind of come across quite often, is that, oh, you're a PT or you're in this fitness industry, so therefore you should be perfect. And this is the problem with Instagram. This is the problem with a lot of YouTubers. They've all got these chiseled six-pack abs. They are so extreme with their diet. I'm not saying they're on substances, but some of them probably are.
Yeah.
They sell supplements that, let's just say, aren't necessarily a good representation of how they're actually dieting.
Yeah.
And they probably have
navigated around that quite well.
Unhealthy. Yes, they have unhealthy eating habits, but yet they're promoting their products. They're promoting their lifestyle to you. When, let's face it, they probably spend a majority of their time in the gym.
Yeah.
Their entire life is based around their body.
So that's their job.
Yes.
They are paid.
Yeah.
Like a lot of money to do that. So if I was getting paid £1 million, like I always went back to Zac Efron in Baywatch, because I watched an interview with him.
Well, I hope.
About he was absolutely ripped to shreds for that movie. But how much money he got paid? He actually said, I was so miserable near the end of that to get below. Like, it was like, I think it was like 5 or 6% body fat. He said to get below that 8%, at that point, it's so regimented in terms of the things you have to eat and the times and things you have to do. It became so difficult. I was snappy and horrible, and he said, I don't see the point in anyone doing that if you're not getting paid millions of pounds. If you pay me £10 million, I'll do it. But I'm not getting paid enough to put myself through my body through that much stress.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, it's ridiculously pointless.
I think I saw something about that with Jason Momoa as well. So he's now gone from hot bod to dad bod very quickly, and people are like online have been bashing him about it, going, "Why don't you look fit and strong and all this anymore?" It's like, yo, he's a family man. He's got a life. He's got things going on. He's not a fitness guy.
He's not actually Aquaman, guys.
No, and I think that's the problem. People get disillusioned with what people should look like, and the average man. An average healthy man is just a good weight. I mean, let's say you want to be beach ready. That's like between 10 to 16% body fat, which is still a healthy range. This is talking about men, by the way. Still a healthy range. You still look good, and people still think, "Oh wow, he works out. He looks after himself." But then there's this crossover of like divisions where you go subpar 10% body fat, and those are the people that say you can look like me. But yet at the same time, they're pushing products, which actually takes us on to our next point about prevention over cure. How many people push products to like disillusion, to make people think that something's going to work when it doesn't? Like, give us an example.
Freaking diet pills.
Diet pills. That's a big
Basically, I'm going to be a bit crude here, but so I'm super ripped. 5% body fat.
Yeah. So
take these pills. They'll basically make you shit through the eye of a needle for 30 days, and only 800 calories a day, and you'll be as thin as I am. Brilliant. That's really healthy, guys.
But also think about it this way. Let's say they're selling a protein, right? I've been taking this protein and I look this way. Yet that person's been training for 12 years, but yet the product's only been out 6 months. So how does that work? Like, something's wrong there. There's a disconnect between reality and, you know, fantasy. Like,
it's just Instagram, isn't it? Instagram, you see what you want to see.
Yeah.
Like they show you what they need to show you. It's like these are wonderful, fantastic glute exercises that all these women are pushing. Like all these stupid glute training exercises.
Yeah.
But what you've not seen is the 15 years of squats this girl's been doing, squatting and lunging, and then they're told, push this new resistance band that has got our logo on it, and that's the only thing she does to get glutes.
I know
on
a
Instagram.
Particular fitness influencer who does go to our gym, who works out weights, but yet her product or their product is actually body weight workout plans and, you know, selling certain products to go with that. And it's not a representation of what they actually do.
Yeah,
how
and she's
they get
never
their
used it
body.
in her life unless she's being filmed or taking photos.
Absolutely, never seen her do anything of that nature. So it's just like a disconnect. Yeah, again, it's pushing products for the sake of sales. So Action Berries, diet pills, weight gainers, whatever it is. I mean, diet can do all of that anyway. And
consistency does that.
Yes. And then of course it goes into like, because you're a believer in that person, because that person has bigger muscles, or because that person's fitter than said individual who's more educated on the subject from a scientific standpoint, they always side with the one that looks the, you know, but you don't understand, you don't probably know how they got to that physique, because they're shifting a product that has nothing to do with what they do.
I think Johnny actually came with a good point the other day, if I remember that, the 60-year-old boxing coach.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So basically what is trying to say is, when you walk into a gym and you saw 6'5", ripped guy upstairs training, but he's like late teens, early 20s, and he's boxing, and then you've got an old guy next to him doing some pad work, doing some technical training. Because of Instagram, because of Facebook, all this promotion we're pushing, your instant draw is to go and ask the young lad for advice, because he obviously knows what he's doing because he's fit as anything. Yet this old guy's got 50 years or whatever, 40 years of experience. Yeah. He's a boxing coach. He's done it for years. Just because he doesn't look the part now because he's older, he's got all the knowledge in his brain. So he's the person you should be speaking to for information, not the young lad that looks like he's got muscles. He's the guy being trained.
I think the 80s ruined it for us with that, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallones, and just the fact that they were big, hulking men. And Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, I know he's an old guy now, but he himself has admitted he's not a fighter. He's an actor. He plays a role. But yet we've been brought up in this environment where big muscle men just shoot and kill and stab, and they're amazing at everything just because they've got muscles. And it's not the case at all.
No.
You know, you've got to look at the individual and listen to them, listen and understand, and try and look into things yourself. Don't just take things at face value is what we're trying to say. If you take things at face value, you'll get missold a product. And maybe it takes getting missold a product or two in order for you to realise that actually that well-educated boxer or the guy who's actually a practitioner at what, you know, diet or whatever, should be the person you should have listened to in the first place. But because they don't necessarily look the part compared, that's the reason why you're not going to them. But I would recommend, if someone sounds too good to be true,
probably are.
Yeah.
Yeah, being good at sales and having knowledge are two different things.
Yeah.
You can sell yourself better than you can actually give the information across. But once they've paid for it, that's it. They're in.
They're in there. And of course, after that, what they'll do is they'll take so much money and they'll move on to the next place, or they'll change their company name, promote a different face, and then do the exact same thing, constantly conning people all the time.
Yeah.
So we want you to be vigilant. We don't want you to take
research.
Yeah, don't take things at face value. Don't take what we say at face value. You know, if you want to look at other videos, other people who have scientific-based evidence, other people who have good knowledge in things, make up your own mind.
Yeah.
Of
our information we relay is all based on. Well, this video is about our opinion.
Yeah.
So disregard this one. But normally it's based on research. and scientific facts that we have to hand today at that moment. But in 10 years' time, there might be research that comes out that completely revolutionises the whole fitness industry and completely blows what we're saying out of the water. That could happen. It might not, because we've got 600 and something studies we've gone off that, you know.
I mean, everything's down to everyone's opinion.
Yeah, it's how and it's also how we've digested the information, how we relay it. It's you know, but yeah, so don't ever take everything at face value.
No, I mean, even with the best meta-analysis in the scientific fields today, even with the best people doing like the top sports promoters, the top sports scientists, etc., aren't all necessarily right, and it also depends on what their subject is. Subject matter actually. It means something. An Olympic weightlifter isn't going to be good necessarily at changing your body composition. Just because they're a high level coach does not make them qualified to do something specific. So you also have to look at the individual and go, you know, are they going to fit my lifestyle? And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah. And some people are just better at teaching people than others. Like some people can be the most knowledgeable person in the world. However, they struggle to relay that information over.
Yeah.
And some people may not have all the knowledge in the world. However, if you ask them a question, they can find the answer and relay it to you in a way that you can digest it. So you just find the person, the trainer that works for you, I think, and follow the certain people on Instagram that you know are truthful and honest and give you quality information rather than just peddling shite.
But yeah, what is valuable to you? Like I say, even though we try to be as unbiased as possible, everyone has some biases. I mean, we are biased specifically more towards powerlifting, bodybuilding, calisthenics, maybe a bit of climbing. We do have some attributes as well. However, neither one of us are high intensive trainers, really, are we?
No.
We don't really go into that kind of culture. So we're not CrossFitters. We don't have like...
No, if someone came to me and said, can you teach me to do, you know, well, it's clean snatches and all that sort of stuff, the CrossFit moves and Olympic lifts. I'm not educated in that field, so I would refer them to someone else that is more educated and can do a better job than I can. Because ethically, I don't feel comfortable training someone to get to a goal that I have no ability to get them to.
But if we were going to do a video in future, let's say on something that isn't specific to our general field that we're educated on, we would get someone in on that video. Like for instance, in a few weeks' time, I actually do a little bit of Muay Thai. I'm a bit of an amateur when it comes to it, really. Muay Thai is like a style of kickboxing. For those of you who don't know, you just use elbows and knees. We will be doing an episode where we basically get our ass kicked.
So I'm going to do this. This will be we're going to record my first ever Muay Thai lesson.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fighter. I'm going to do a bit of boxing, that's about it. So me looking like a complete noob. And then Johnny getting his ass kicked in the sparring session.
That's what, that's what it's all about. Like, we're not professionals in that area.
Yeah.
I get people ask me all the time, I'll see you on the Muay Thai video, you look really good, can you train me? I'm like, no, I can't.
I'm not even scratch the surface of what I can do.
No, I mean, someone who, let's say, is a bit egotistical and someone who has an agenda to get money off people would say, yeah, brilliant, teach them a load of crap. And then, of course, it defaces your kind of reputation when someone knowledgeable comes along and goes, what the heck was that? I could teach basics, very basic stuff, but at the same time, I would suggest someone to come in. So for those of you who are interested in fighting, you like a bit of UFC, I mean, UFC was on the other night, quality fights. For those of you who watch UFC, comment below. Obviously, we can do a future video on that if you guys want to know how, a style of training, what some of the fighters do. We could show a style of training kind of session and do a breakdown of some of these guys, just the way they train is incredible. And if you kind of want us to do something like that for you, brilliant. But we're not going to pretend that we are UFC fighters or Muay Thai fighters. We're going to get professional in. We're going to make sure that you guys want to learn that shit. And if you like it, we can make more videos on that. But of course, we'll get professionals in to look at that stuff. We are not disillusioned enough to think that we are the best at everything, although we are great. But anyway, kind of like the point of this video about the fitness industry, about economy versus health. We just, like we said, we just want people to be as healthy and knowledgeable as possible in the areas. And the main focus of this video is to lift people up. We've got to start bringing communities together, haven't we?
Yeah, so if anything you take from this video, we'd like it to be if you're not involved in fitness and you just stumble across a video, and there is someone who is doing fitness in your work or home, help them, and even just ask them about what they're doing, and get them more in what's the word I'm looking for? Enthusiastic about what they're doing. Even ask them questions, or ask them if you can join in, or just be positive rather than negative. Just in every aspect of your life.
Yeah, there's no perfect plan. There's no perfect style of training. There is no perfect subculture of fitness or health or anything like that. So my suggestion is, if someone comes from a different field of you, let's say they are a CrossFit guy, you've got that bias towards them. Automatically, you're like, no, waste of time. You're going to injure yourself. You're going to do this. Listen to them. They might have some good insight. They might have some crossover abilities.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a CrossFitter that he's over 45s.
Oh, I remember that guy.
And he was going to Athens to compete, and he was an absolute beast. And he's the nicest guy ever. He always stop and have a chat with you, and he was such a nice bloke. But then he knew the downfalls of what he was doing and the injury involved. However, so he made sure that before he did anything, he spent a whole year learning to lift the bar above his head before he even put any weight on it. So he did it properly rather than just getting some half-assed PT to teach him to do a lift and bang on 70 kilo and then breaking your elbow. Yeah. So he did it properly. He spent 20 years doing the whole thing. So, that made me then, speaking to him, I thought, do you know what? I might want to give CrossFit a go at some point.
Yeah. And we're always up for trying new challenges, and it's gaining insight into other people. Yeah, it's gaining insight into other people's worlds. Yeah. So we're going to try and do a whole Versus series later on down the line, when we can get certain people to come in on our videos and say, look, we want to challenge you to this, this, and this. And do you know what? It's going to just expand our wealth and knowledge of fitness as a whole, and it can bring new experiences and adaptations to our training that we can then pass on to other people. Like you guys, yeah. And I'm just excited about it, to be honest. I'm
always excited.
I am. That's a different fitness topic, though.
It's a different YouTube channel.
It's not on YouTube. That's on the hub of some sort, which I won't say the first word because it might get demonetized, even though we don't earn enough money anyway.
Any money, not enough money.
Any money. So buy our plans, guys.
Yeah. Plans.
No, seriously, those plans are really, really good. It's taken some time to
actually we've worked. I say we. Johnny's worked hard on these plans. In the background, he just came and said, "I've done this." Oh, okay, cool, brilliant.
Yeah, I kind of like to do periodized stuff. I'm more on the methodical side of things. Luke, very much more enthusiastic. He's very good at kind of putting things into practice, giving them goes, and just learning through more kind of kinesthetic ability, isn't it? It's like learning on...
I'm a good teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. So we work off each other, and that's why we put this channel together, because one person is good, but two people with similar knowledge base and experience, it's really good to have discussions on topics and maybe take away biases of our own opinions and listen and understand people. And this is, like I said, the whole point of the video. Bring each other up, try not to be as biased, and I think that's pretty much covering everything, isn't it?
Smahoo shit, man.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video.
So subscribe. We've rambled on. We appreciate you if you have lasted the whole 30-odd minutes. Yeah. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
And check out our next few weeks of content. It's going to be good. Looking to maybe get the Versus series up at the start of the year or the end of this year, start of next year. We want to plan it properly and make sure it's good quality.
Yeah, and if any of those of you guys who are watching, you don't necessarily have to be based in the area. We could set up the challenges, 2 separate videos, and send them across. So if any of you come from a different background, by all means, send us a challenge. We're up for it.
Yeah, that's it. Find us on Instagram at GrowStrengthNX. Tag us in a post. Let us know what you're doing, and we'll give it a go and make complete hits ourselves.
Yeah, standard. And that's it. Don't be afraid to try new things, because a lot of it is fear. And I like to enjoy new things, even though I am crap at a lot of them. But that's how you get good. That's how winning is done. Anyway.
Okay, I'm taking it away now.
Share.